It's 2 o'clock in the morning. It's freezing cold. Um, I'm sending my teachers this message because yesterday, at this same time, I received all of these professionalism points being deducted from my score. Right. My grades right now for is a 46.25 and a 51.14. I've been writing since I was 19. And the only reason why I don't write is because I don't put energy into it. I don't go out of my way to actively engage in the writing process. I'm too busy trying to survive every day, every week, every month, trying my hardest to make enough money to be able to function as a normal adult. I spent the first 18, 19 years of my life paying child support. That was always the adversity that held me back. It was never anything other than that. I don't care how much people want to try to change the narrative or convince me of my inability to function when the government takes 51% of your income and you're already working less than 20 hours a week. There was a point in my life where I had 2 jobs and I wasn't qualified for underemployment. And then when I quit my 2 jobs, they didn't want to give me any money. They said I had to go work. So imagine being told that, yeah, we can see that you're not making that much money. We will offset your income since you're not making enough to live off to earn a living, even though we can clearly see that you're working 2 jobs. Well, then I'm like, I'm gonna quit and get a better job. They're like, oh, well, if you quit your jobs, since you quit the 2 jobs you had, we're not gonna give you any money. We're not gonna help you if you don't have a job. And it's like, why would you force me to work jobs that aren't helping me if, you know? And that's the same thing the same issue I have with school. I don't have a problem with college in general. I know that I can do the work and do, like, there's nothing hard about life. The problem I have is everything is designed for me to fail instead of being successful. And when you're sleeping in your car, trying to when all you're trying to do in life is just the thing that you're trying to do, and you have all this energy holding you back. And I'm not saying that life shouldn't be difficult. I'm just saying it's designed, right? Like, none of the stuff that we do has to be the way that it is. It's designed that way, right? You don't have to. The adversities that exist don't exist like coldness. Like, it's cold outside because the sun. Hey, what's going on? It's cold outside not because someone decided this part of the world's going to be cold. It's just the way that nature works. When it comes to human society, we design stuff to be the way that it is, right? So that's just kind of the way that this all works. I'm up at 2 o'clock in the morning because I simply can't sleep because of how hard I work. I work hard enough that I don't sleep a regular. You left your lighter in the refrigerator. That's interesting. Why'd you leave your lighter in the refrigerator? But as I was saying, the world is designed and baked. The world is designed for us to fail. It goes out of its way to try to prove to you that you're not good enough. And there's so many adversities that already exist in the world that what's the point? What's the point? Why should I stay up from 2:43 a.m. to 6 a.m. to try to turn in assignments, to try to validate my ability to write when I'm already a writer? When I'm already writing, I already have tons of text written. I already have tons of literature already written. Like, all of these files Hi, all of these files right here are what I've written. And I want to get into video games comic books, right? This is what I've been working on. Here's my actual story, right? Here's one of the books that I have published. This is my profile for Barnes and Noble, and they're comic books. Like, and here's the other one. Here's the other one. And then if you go to my bios, like this is what I write. And the first one I wrote was this. And I finished this book. I made it a digital book. 2 reviews, no sales. Here's all the information for it. Because the society is designed, like, are there not any people not read? People read, just don't know that I exist. Because I can't afford advertisement. I can't get the money I need to do. Look at all the stories that are actually on the actual. These are all of the actual stories in the actual book. And it's just. Anyway, let me pull up Mixamo. Because I want to just show the stuff that I'm doing in my free time, and then it's like I think she's still in here, right? So this is a character that I'm working on. This is the Mother Goddess. This is over the years. This is the point that I've reached when it comes to the ambition I have for the things that I'm trying to achieve. I've been working on an all-female fighting game for most of my life. Child support took away my ability to be able to afford to do this. And the money that I'm using, or I'm sorry, and the money that I would have used for continued growth and continued development went to child support. It went to making sure that I was broke. It went to making sure that I wasn't able to be successful. So all the energy that I should have been focused on getting stuff done, I wasn't able to get stuff done. I wasn't able to actually accomplish my objectives. And what do you want me to do? You want me to take the little bit of time that I have to try to be successful, and instead of helping me be successful, you want to continue to go out of your way, and I mean this by, I'm like speaking in terms of society, you want to go out of your way to waste my time and show me that I'm not good enough. Explain to me about why I can't do the things that I'm actually doing. Does this model exist? Does this model actually exist, or is this an imagining? Is this in my head still, or does this actually exist objectively? Because sometimes you hold ideas in your head and you have to make them manifest in reality. Is that what I'm doing, or am I still just trying to be the person that I think that I can be? And like, when is it? Where does that transition period begin and end? Right? It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I have to be at work at 8 o'clock. I have to leave at 6 o'clock to get it, to drive from where I am. I'm not in a house, right? I'm not inside my living room. I'm not in my bed. I'm literally out in public in my car. Like, you want me to? This is the sacrifice I made so that I could be a husband and a father. Like, I just wanted to just be in a relationship, be a decent human being, be kind and respectful, be honest. And what do I get for it? Oh, let me treat you like shit. Let me disrespect you every day. Let me remind you that you have to be what society says that a human being is and what a man is, so that you can learn to submit and be humble and ask God for forgiveness. Let me force you to disrespect me and scream and yell at me. Let me take as much from you as I can as fast as possible, because I know that you're not going to continue to do the things that you're doing. For what? Like, at the end of the day, what is the long-term goal? So I'm not really gonna waste any more of my time trying to prove that I can do the things that I've done. I've already done it. I've already wrote a story. I've already produced a book. The adversities that hold me back, they're not going anywhere. They're not gonna change. But I'm just gonna work and do it and just do it do it the hard way. I'm not gonna keep fighting this uphill battle with the world. Well, not even with the world. I'm not gonna keep fighting this uphill battle with myself, trying to validate myself in a space that doesn't want me there anyway. You don't want me to come to your party. I'm not gonna keep standing outside on the park trying to get access to somewhere where I don't really want to be anyway, and I'm not welcome. I don't really want to write the kind of stories that are being produced in general. Like, I just don't want to do that. I don't want to be a part of what exists in the format that exists in. But I want to get paid to write stories, but I don't necessarily want to work for Disney. I don't necessarily want to work for any of the companies that already exist. Like, I'm not part of that environment. And that's the conflict that I have as a human being on this planet, is that there's enough space for everyone. There's enough resources for everyone. So you shouldn't limit the world, shouldn't be limited by the ideology that only a few people are going to be good enough. Like, why do I have to go out of my way every day to validate myself to people that don't believe that I can do it anyway? What is the advantage to rising up to somebody that isn't gonna accept you no matter what you do? Why would you do that? Why would you go out of your way to keep trying to prove your worth to people that will never see you as anything other than worthless? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? The reason why I'm attending Full Sail University is because I need the money. That's the reason why I'm in Full Sail University, because I need the money. And the irony is that had I not listened to my wife, that was trying to get me to understand that I can't be successful in life if I don't jump through social hoops and do the things that society expects of me, while she simultaneously wasn't being supportive or being an active participant in my life, I would have realized that all I had to do was just work. Like, all I have to do is just continue to work, continue to do the things that I'm already doing to continue to move forward. When I was in an apartment and she was making it clear that I shouldn't pay my rent because I should give my money to her, I should just do everything now for her and wait for myself later. If I hadn't been conditioned for decades to sacrifice who I am for other people, like give everything I got to outside people for my own prosperity, I wouldn't be sleeping in my car at night and not having her call me. Where is she? Where's my wife isn't calling me every day. It's exhausting for her to have to talk to me every day about wanting to be a writer. But she stopped talking to me when I told her I wasn't going to send her money. But I was sending you money. So why do I have to provide for you to tell me that I'm not a provider, for you to tell me that I can't do it, for you to constantly convince me that I'm not good enough? And then when I engage in the behavior and be the person that you say that I am, you tell me that I'm not doing something, and then when I stop doing the thing that I've been doing, because I don't want you to give me counterproductive energy, don't tell me subjectively that I'm not doing something that I'm doing, and then be offended when I stop giving energy into the thing that you're saying that I'm not already doing. You want me to send you money, you tell me that I'm sending you money. When I stop sending you money, you've already been telling me that I'm not sending you money. So how does that translate? How do you feel like you had a right to be upset or offended that I stopped doing the thing that you said that I wasn't doing to begin with? And all of this unnecessary energy is the conflict. Like, I'm just gonna go back to just chilling. Like, I don't have it in me anymore. I just don't. You know what they want me to do tomorrow? They want me to work 6 a.m. to 1 a.m. I'm sorry, 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the warehouse, and then Burger King wants me to work 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. So I'll be back in this car at 12 a.m. after working from 6 a.m. to 12 a.m. with only about 4 hours of time in between. And if I get my check, then I'll be good. Speaking of checks, so this is the way. This is what I got paid. The 444 and the 330, 388 is my income. You see my previous balance for the 444, $906. But you see all these transactions for food. My current available balance, $800. Little over 800. I went from 444. So I went from $961 to $791. So quick math is like 900 to 800, right? So I spent $100 this week. Just this week, $100. There's 4 weeks in a month, which means I spent $400. Now, from this $900, I need to pay rent. I'm sorry, I don't need to pay rent. I need to pay I think of it as rent. I have to pay my car note. I have to pay my phone, which is about $400. So that leaves me with $500. And if I get paid $444 a week, I can't see where it went. And if I get paid $444 a week, then next week, this money right here, $444 is going to cover my bills. This is what I have for this week. Now, interestingly enough, this bottom one, excuse me, this 388 is a bi-weekly check. This 444 is a weekly check. So I get the top one 4 times a month, and I get the bottom one 2 times a month. Let's be a functional adult. Right, so let's round them down. 400 times 4. 1,600 is my net. This is my net income. And then we'll add 300 plus 300. 300 plus 300 is 600. 2,200 a month is my net income, working 7 days a week. So if we add 700 to that, $2,900 a month is my net income. 2,900 is my net income. Now, let's see. That's the number that I have to live off of, right? Now, I make 17 an hour. I usually times it by 30. Because you have to pay taxes. 17 times 30. Times 4. That's 1 day's worth of income. 17 times 30 is 1 week's worth of income. Times 4. 2,040. Right? 2,040. This is 1 week. Times 2. No, times 4. 1,080 plus 2,040. $3,128 will be my gross. Plus the money I would get for college. $3,828 will be my gross income if I can finish college. But the other number, the more realistic one, 400 times 4, 1,600 plus, what was it, 3 and 3 and 6 plus 600 is my net. $2,200 a month. It's my net income. That's what I have to live off of. $2,200 a month. Working 7 days a week. 7 days a week. It's a little bit more than that. It's closer to like $2,500 a month. But yeah, this is what we're working with. And what we're gonna do, what I'm going to do, is I'm just gonna stop trying to make an effort to function in a society that doesn't fucking care. I'm just gonna stop. Like, all I want to do is write stories. My goal before I started dating my wife, before I started dating my wife, I had finished 2 comics. I had finished the production of 2 comics. I was chilling in the military. I was writing regularly every day. I had got myself into the good habits and good procedures, and I was good. I was content with life. I was just sad because I wanted to be a husband and a father. I wanted to be in a loving relationship. I wanted to have a woman by my side that was going to be able to live my life with me. That's what I wanted. I didn't want somebody that I could lay next to her and I have sex with. I wanted a friend. I wanted a best friend that I could spend my life with and be able to live day to day and be prosperous. That was the goal. That was what I was trying to achieve. And when I started dating my ex, well, not my ex, but when I started dating my wife, that was the plan. It wasn't, let's argue every night, let's fight, let's make bad decisions, let's go out of our way to make our lives as difficult as possible because we need to sacrifice for God and alliance ourselves with Christianity so that we can get into heaven. It wasn't none of that stuff. None of that energy was worth it, But when I was in the military, I was in the military because of having to pay child support. My daughter was 19. I never had an opportunity to be a father. I never got a chance to watch her grow up and raise her. My ex lied, cheated, and stole, and used the corruption of the system and kicked me out of my daughter's life and forced me to pay child support instead of working with me. And the same way my wife is not working with me. Like, why does it have to be difficult? Why does anything in this world have to be so hard? Why can't you just have an objective, have a clear vision, make an effort? Whatever doesn't go right, you just kind of adjust along the way to get from where you are to where you want to be. Why do you have to be a decent person and a good human being, why do you have to get fucked over by society and then be told that your inability to function under corruption is why you're a failure? Like, how am I a failure because this person is doing illegal, immoral, and unethical things to me? How is that my fault? I will take accountability for my actions. Like, I didn't have all the information and all the resources when I went into what I started, but having people fuck me over isn't my fault. Having my stepmother want all of my check when she went back on the contract that me and her made when I was renting for her, and me at the age of 19 wanting to go to school and wanting to give $50 to a broken fucking system so that I could get money released to me so that I could go to school to learn how to be a video game programmer. How is that my fault? How is that my failing that this woman, and when you're a 19-year-old kid and you don't recognize that this woman cheated on your father, got a divorce from him, took your siblings from him, forced you to live with him instead of allowing you to continue to last the next 2 or 3 years of your life with your brothers and sisters. I don't talk to my brothers and sisters right now to this day. I'm in my 40s right now, and I don't have a relationship with my brothers and sisters because of what she did. We went from being together for me for more than 10 years to them not calling me or talking to me because their mother broke up our relationship. She just did that. You think that my father was like, oh, I'm gonna keep my son and you can keep your kids? Like, we're brothers and sisters. I'm sure my father said, why don't you keep PC instead of breaking them up? And I'm sure my stepmother said, you keep your son and I'll keep my kids. Like, why do you have to have ownership? Like, why? Why is it necessary? But it's my failing, right? It's my failing as a 16-year-old, brother that's trying to do the best in life. Somehow I'm the problem. It's my fault. I'm the one that's not good enough. So when you align yourself to adults that don't have their best interest in heart, you got a woman that wants to take all of your money so that she can pay bills for a house that you can't even cook food in. Of course you're gonna, when you're told that when you don't have an option, give me all your money or get out, and it's like, well, can I just use $50 to pay my rent? Can I just use $50 of the money that I'm earning at the age of 19 to pay debt so that I can go back to school? Why aren't the adults around you helping you be successful? Why aren't they helping you overcome your adversities? Because they see you as really good people don't. The vast majority of people are gonna help you be successful, and you're gonna be the problem. As a young person, you're gonna go out of your way to make things harder for yourself, the same way that older people can go out of their way to make things harder for decent young people. That's the balance of the world. But that's the dynamic. You've got hard-headed children without enough information making bad decisions and not taking advantage of the support system that they have, or you have really responsible children in really fucked up situations not being supported the way they need to be supported, failing, and then winding up conforming to social norms. That's what my 2 cents is trying to address. The latter. People are going to be people. You either are unwilling or incapable. But there's enough people that are able-bodied, wise enough, capable, able to achieve in fucked up ass situations beyond their control that wind up having to have adversities that are going to negatively impact them for the rest of their life. And they don't know what to do. They don't have the information to stop this stuff from happening to them. That's the goal of my 2 cents. And guess where I am? In my fucking car, sleeping outside because my wife doesn't want to give a fuck about me. My mother didn't invest enough energy into me when I was a child. My stepmother wanted to take advantage of me the same way she took advantage of my father. They just want their own validation. They want to feel like they're successful in life cheating. You got liars and deceivers that want their fucking gold medal for lying and deceiving. And they want to tear the people around them down that are actually out there not cutting corners, not doing the wrong thing, making an effort, being as successful as they possibly can, coming in second place. And you got the liars and the deceivers telling them that they're still not worthy, they're still not good enough. Don't worry about what other people think. Don't worry about what other people feel. I'm not making these videos because my goal is to get empathy or I want people to sympathize. That's not why I'm making these videos. I'm making these videos because the YouTube algorithm won't show my content. I can't put Kwajalein Marie on the internet and say, I'm an African American writer writing stories for African Americans and I want you to buy my book, and have YouTube advertise that to people that are searching for young, inspiring African American artists, young, inspiring African American stories. People are typing this stuff in their search engine, but they're not seeing me. People want to read books, but they're not getting recognized. They're not getting my stories recommended to them. That's the reason why I make these videos, so that I can slowly grow my channel to the point where enough people start actually seeing it and will actually start, engaging with me on that. The more people that I get exposure to and learn who I am and recognize that I exist, the more I'm able to cut through the bullshit that's holding back people that are ambitious like me and inspired like me, that want to do the things that I'm trying to do in life but can't, because society has designed the world to make sure that if you're not doing it the way they want you to do it, you're not going to be able to make it. And I'm not saying this in like this Joe Rogan conspiracy style. I'm simply stating that if you get up and do something, if whatever you do every day as a job, you don't have to do it for your employer, you can do it for yourself. But the structure of society is designed in such a way that the institutions that are in place won't ever go away. Every McDonald's, like I've said this before, every McDonald's has a GM running that store. The GM that runs that store is an owner-operator. They are the owner-operator. But the corporation forces them to pay dues to them, so they would never make enough money to be able to start their own franchise. And corporations like McDonald's and Wendy's and Burger King have destroyed mom and pop shops to the point where mom and pops have to what? Work for McDonald's. Now they work for McDonald's, now they work for Wendy's, now they work for Arby's, now they work for Subway. And they pay all of their extra money to the corporations. So what is that money not doing? It's not making it into the communities anymore, right? Imagine me, let's keep this real simple. Imagine me at the age of 42 with the experience that I have working in a fast food restaurant. Imagine 19-year-old me gets up and goes and works a job. And I work in an environment and I learn the skills that I need to run a kitchen. And I don't like the environment of the kitchen that I'm running, so I go start my own store. And guess what I can do? I can hire people like me. I can hire my personality to work for me, under me, doing the things that I like to do the way I like to do it. Now you got a whole kitchen of people that are all like-minded with the same energy, working, running this establishment, making millions of dollars, providing for the economy, stimulating the world. Children come from school not to another store that's corporate, that has all these policies and procedures and don't want to be bothered with them. No, now you have a store where these kids can come hang out and chill. Like, they can just live their life. They don't have to see no loitering signs, no soliciting. My daughter comes home with her friends and her friends chill out in a restaurant. Hey, chill out, guys. My father's trying to work. This is my dad's shop. I need you guys to chill out. Don't destroy my property. Like, my father works here. He owns this building. Well, we don't mean nothing by it. She brings her friends over, and then her other kids her age hang out with her, and that's the checks and balances of society. That's the way it should work. But that's not what we see anymore. We just see corporations trying to make as much money as they can so they can get loans, so they can expand and continue to underpay. And that's why there's no benefit in the world. If I was running my own fast food restaurant, I could write as a hobby, and then I wouldn't be dependent on needing to write to make a living. I could just, chill. I could just do the things that I'm trying to do. But that's not the way the world is structured anymore. That's not the direction that we're moving in. We're moving in a totally different direction, and everybody wants to pretend like Europeans in general are not the problem. Caucasians in general are not the problem. White people in general are not the problem. The biggest problem in society that no individual wants to address, and if you're under the age of 18 and 25, you don't even know this is a problem yet, is that the vast majority of people are governed by a few people, right? Like, let's say a mother and a father has 10 kids. The 10 kids are governed by the 2 parents. That's the problem with society. You've got 10 people taking orders from 2 people. What the 2 people want doesn't always align with the 10 kids want. But the 10 kids are going to do what the parents told them to do, right? You've got millions of people's jobs and lives being determined by hundreds of people. You've got millions of people negatively affected by hundreds of people, right? So you have 1,000,000 Africans and 100 Caucasians. If 10 of those Caucasians are racist whites, they're going to negatively affect millions of Africans because they're in control and in authority, and they're making policies and writing legislation that is going to directly hinder and affect indirectly people that they don't care about, people that they don't have an interest in. And then of those 100, you got half of them, 50 of them don't want to address the fact that 10 of us want to negatively affect the lives of millions of people because of how they look. The 100 are not balanced themselves in a way to ensure that they're all doing the best for the majority of the people on the planet. Half of them don't fucking care. Half of the 100 are like, I'm just out looking for myself. 10 are actively engaged in destroying a very specific number of people's lives. The other 40 are trapped between this dynamic of 50 that don't fucking care, 10 that are trying to destroy the fucking world. And they're like, we have to take care of ourselves and try to fix everything at the same time. And while they're doing this, the millions of us, 10% of the millions of us are in alliance with the 10% of the people that are in control and have an actual authority, and they're just making sure that this shit don't fucking work. And that's literally what's happening. That's what's going on. That there's no conspiracy, there's no need to put on a tinfoil hat. That's the way that it works. And if you don't understand, when you go to work, look at the structure of your job. Look at who's in management. And I'm not saying that your managers are racist. I'm not saying that. I'm saying look at the structure of how society works. If your boss is a good person and he's taking care of you, you've got a great day. You're enjoying life. Things are great. You come to work, you communicate, everything's good. Imagine if your boss wasn't that. Imagine if your boss was a piece of shit racist person that is taking hours off of your check, making sure that you're struggling, making things harder for you, setting you up for failure, constantly trying to convince you to understand why you're not good enough and why you're not able. Right? When you're in high school with those bullies, those same kids that were bullying you in school grow up to be adults that run society. Do you think the energy changes? Do you think the nature goes away? So, I'm Ranting and Raving. As always, my name is Paul Emerson, and I'm giving you my 2 cents.